Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Today we have Dr. B from Dr. B Dental Solutions with us, and we're going to talk about his product, how it started, and just get to know him a little bit. Thank you for coming, Dr. B. I really appreciate this.
Well, I appreciate you having me here and all your videos and everything you do for everybody out there.
Oh, thank you very much. And let me stop here and say that you also have a smile guide that we just did a video on, where the smile guide helps you pick out your tooth shape, your smile. I'm going to link that video in the description and a pinned comment. It's a really good video. Dr. B has made a smile guide to help you to pick out your smile.
No, thanks. And it's all on denturewares.com. Choose your smile too.
He has a website. I'll link that in the description, so you can go look at that also. I'll also put a link to your product line in the description too, if anybody wants to go look at that.
Oh, thank you.
So how did you come up with the idea to make a product line?
It probably started 40 years ago in the 80s when I started practicing dentistry. When I opened up my office, I noticed that there just weren't very good denture products out there. You just had the same old ones, the adhesives and the soap cleansers. As a dentist, I knew the adhesives at the time were dangerous. I knew that they contained a dangerous amount of zinc because I was privy to a lot of dental literature that the public isn't. And I knew that that amount of zinc, yes, a little bit of zinc is good for you. It's in supplements. But when it's in denture adhesive and it's in contact with the oral mucosa for 12 to 24 hours a day, the oral mucosa absorbs it at a much greater rate than the gut does. And at that rate, it was causing neuropathy, Alzheimer's, nerve damage, and of course, digestive issues. That's why the stereotype of the denture wearer was a doddering old person who was senile. It's because they were. If they were using it, if they were using
your blood-brain barrier.
Exactly. That's another reason it went right to the brain. Thanks for bringing that up, because I think that's probably the key problem with it, as opposed to ingesting it and going into your stomach. Here it goes right to your brain.
Right.
And I knew that that was going to be a problem. The soap cleansers, every study out there shows that they basically just deodorized them. And if you were lucky, they removed stain. But they did nothing against the dangerous pathogens like Candida, strep, staph, actinomyces, E. coli, and more. And these are the main causes of thrush, pneumonia, and digestive issues. I don't know if you know this, but a denture wearer is twice as likely to have thrush and pneumonia.
I was just going to
as
say
a non-denture wearer, and if they sleep in them, they're 4 times as likely. And it's not the denture. What it is everybody has all these microorganisms in their system all the time, and they work together and they balance together. But on a denture, especially if a denture is damaged by like brushing it with toothpaste and stuff like that, but even regardless, all those little irregularities that make them fit so well or chew so well also harbor these pathogens. And there just was not a way to clean them at home. So I started working on a denture adhesive that didn't require zinc and a soap cleanser that would kill these pathogens. And that was, this was not a full-time job. I was a full-time practicing dentist.
Right.
But I was working on them on my own. And I learned a lot.
You had test patients too, didn't
you? I tested everything on our patients all the time. We had questionnaires. I mean, I basically spent about 18 years as a sideline in my practice developing all these products. And then when we got to the point where everybody liked everything, we had medical grade labs working to develop the products. I went for the FDA approval. This was in like 2015. I was really shocked. I didn't realize this, but none of the major denture products, or none of the denture products out there, had the ADA seal of acceptance, which was shocking because
Right.
they were all owned by big pharma, and all these big pharma companies, their toothpaste, their toothbrushes, their mouth rinses, everything had the ADA seal, but not their denture products. And I said, that's strange. I'm going to get the ADA seal. I'm a dentist
Yeah.
for 40 years. So I got the ADA seal, the FDA seal in 2015. We didn't release the products till 2018. I don't know if I ever would have brought these products out if I didn't have I had a bad bicycle accident in 2015.
Oh,
And as a
yeah.
result, I couldn't practice anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
And
that.
that helped me bring out these products.
Well, maybe
And
this is what you were supposed to do next, you know?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
but what was interesting is when we did launch these products, because they were the first denture products to get the ADA seal, and I was a dentist, the ADA, they did a big article about me and the products.
Mm-hmm.
And within 2 weeks, I heard from a dentist in New Mexico whose mom had all these stomach ailments and they were quite disabling. None of the doctors could figure out what was wrong with her. So she flew her mother to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
and they determined like within 24 hours she had a severe candida infection, severe thrush infection
Mm-hmm.
in her intestines, and
Oh,
they traced it to her denture.
for a denture.
And her daughter made the denture a year and a half earlier. So she contacted me and she said, it's so great that you came out with these products. And
Yeah.
I also heard from a dentist in Seattle who told me that when he read that article, it really disturbed him because 30 years earlier, when he was in dental school, his dad died of pneumonia, and he always suspected that it might have something to do with his old dentures. And when he read that, it really rang home for him. Since so many people, well, not so much now, but because younger people are and healthier people are getting dentures, but
Mm-hmm.
still, when you get older and there's a lot of comorbidities, people don't think about their dentures making them sick. They just think they're old, they're sick.
Right.
And
Right.
dentures, we're not just cleaning dentures. I mean, we may be saving lives with our products.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so those were the first two products I worked on was the denture adhesive that wouldn't need zinc. So we
Mm-hmm.
had to come up with a new copolymer. And while we were at it, I also knew my denture wearers were always complaining about dry mouth. I mean, I told you we'd have questionnaires. So they said,
Yeah.
can you do
Yeah.
something for my dry mouth? So then we moved on. Once we got the
Mm-hmm.
retention, we moved on to the dry mouth issue. And what we found is that, dry mouth is the enemy of retention. So if we could do anything to help moisturize the mouth, we're helping with retention. And then the liquid crystal, as I said, to disinfect the dentures. Then, of course, the next big problem was, how do I get that gunk out of my mouth?
Oh, that's where
So,
these came in.
yes, we have it in the
Yeah.
wipes, and we also have it in a paste. And the paste is also moisturizing.
I showed
It's
you
got
my paste.
Yes, it's popular. And we have vitamins A, D, and E, aloe vera,
Mm-hmm.
coconut oil, and tea tree oil, and a secret sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only toothpaste that the ADA has accepted for dentures, implants, and the entire mouth. It's the only universal toothpaste out there.
Well, I
Uh,
know that when I use this, it makes me feel normal because I can brush my dentures that are still in my mouth after I eat something.
yes, that's the only toothpaste you can do that with.
Mm-hmm. And,
And
and
I
I,
recommend an extra soft toothbrush.
well, I have your toothbrush.
Well, that's an extra soft toothbrush.
Yes, I do. And I actually, I like the design. I know there's a lot of talk about the design, but I can wrap my hand around here and it's perfect. Somebody that has arthritis in their fingers or can't work their hands well, they're able to hold this brush.
It just makes sense. I've
Hmm.
heard a lot of comments about it since it's come out, but I
So,
honestly didn't think about it. I was just thinking about a grip.
and that is exactly what it is. Somebody that is maybe has any disabled problem with their hands, they can hold this easily.
I guess I
You
was
know,
naive. I had no idea there were other
well,
purposes out there.
well.
Oh, people are asking us about when we're going to get an electric version.
Oh, no.
I don't want to go there.
But I really do recommend this. If you want to feel like a non-denture wearer, buy this, the toothbrush, brush your teeth after your meals, and it doesn't loosen your denture adhesive. You don't have to worry about that, but it makes your mouth feel good.
And in public, I mean, nobody thinks you have dentures when you brush your teeth.
No, no, no. So this is just like perfect to have if you work or whatever.
Plus, when you're drinking or, when you're out, sometimes you really don't want to go through the whole rigmarole of taking your denture out and reapplying adhesive and rinsing it out. But you want to freshen up. And that's what the Clean-A-Dent is great for.
Right.
And also when the dentures are out, it's the best way to get rid of the biofilm. Biofilm is dangerous and nobody talks about it. It's this film that sticks to the gums. And it's always filled with microorganisms that are not good for you.
I know I have dry mouth really bad because of medication that I take. That's why I lost all my teeth. So I'm dealing with dry mouth now with my dentures, and I know this helps. And the adhesive. Let's talk about your adhesive ones. I know that you said to me a while back, we were talking, it's like people are going to find an adhesive that they love and use that, but you suggested switch it up. If you're using one adhesive and it's not working well, switch to another one and then go back to the one you were using and it might work better.
Yeah, that's just anecdotal that I found in my practice that people have told me. I don't think there is an ideal adhesive. I tried to come up with the healthiest adhesive out there. There is no perfect adhesive. Everybody's different. Everybody's got different saliva pH. People have told me that it helps when they switch it out periodically. I mean, I didn't hear that all the time, but I did hear that. Another thing is combining a powder with a cream adhesive. With this adhesive, I did do something different. We really wanted to address the dry mouth issue. And, with most of the adhesives out there, they tell you to dry out your gums and then you apply the adhesive. And that to me seemed like the opposite of what we wanted to achieve. So we wanted to come up with an adhesive that worked better with a wet mouth. So with our adhesive, yes, you apply the adhesive to a dry denture and you use very little until you figure out what works best for you. But usually less is best. Before you insert the denture with the adhesive, we want you to rinse with warm water. Actually, the warmest water you can stand, but we don't want you to burn yourself. But I want you to rinse with warm water so that you're putting it in a wet mouth, and that actually helps the adhesive set. But it's not for everybody. I mean, everybody is different. That's why they've got 31 flavors out there, If some of you remember 31 flavors.
I do. I do. You know what I always picked? Vanilla. My parents would take me to all these flavors, and I'm like, I want just vanilla.
I like chocolate chip mint.
Oh, yeah. I'm not really a chocolate fan. Everything's vanilla. But I have a video on this where I figured out how it worked for me. And I'll leave a link if you have this and you're having trouble with it. I'm going to leave a link in my description because water activates this.
Another thing is, I know a lot of people like a 24-hour hold of their adhesive. And that was not my goal because, being a dentist, I didn't want you leaving your dentures in for 24 hours. I mean, these are dirty. Dentures get dirty. It's like dirty dishes, only much worse.
The longer you have them, the more little porous holes they get they're microscopic that you can't see, that just all the bacteria lays in.
So we hear from people who say that they use this adhesive and it lasts longer than 8 hours or 12 hours. But I only really planned on this to work for 8 to 12 hours.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's all that's necessary.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, unless you're working a job that is longer than that or something.
But even then, after 8 or 12 hours, I prefer that people would take them out and clean them if they're going to reapply. I have no problem with people wearing it 24 hours. I just wanted to say that I didn't plan for the ultimate longest hold.
Let's talk about your liquid crystals now.
Well, the liquid crystal is the only over-the-counter soap cleanser that it's professional strength, concentrated, and it kills basically all the dangerous bugs out there that are on your dentures. It kills candida, strep, staph, actinomyces, E. coli, and probably a whole lot more, but that's all we've tested it for.
You also have a sonic cleaner that goes with this.
Oh, yes, it's the best. I'm not bragging, but it's the best ultrasonic cleaner on the market, especially for the price. It fits both arches, top and bottom, at the same time. It's got 3 timers, 5, 10, 15 minutes, which is very important for people with soft liners or with tissue conditioners. There's really no way to clean those things. All the tablets and the powders, they're going to cause them to either debond or distort. But with the liquid crystal, you can totally disinfect soft liners in 5 minutes. Well, depending how dirty it is, but if you do it on a regular basis in 5 minutes, and in 5 minutes, there's been absolutely no damage done to the soft liners. It's been proven no matter how many times you do it, as long as it's 5 minutes at a time. And as I said, our ultrasonic has a 5, 10, 15-minute timer. So you just set 5 minutes and you know it's done.
When you use a sonic cleaner, I know I've done videos on this where the bubbles are imploding on your denture.
It works great. It mechanically debrides the denture.
Yes. Now,
that's a technical term.
The tablet cleaners, when you drop them in, they have sodium bicarbonate in them, and those bubbles are exploding on your denture. And the sonic cleaner, they're imploding. But haven't they found over time that the sodium bicarbonate is ruining the dentures?
I'm not sure if it ruins hard dentures, but it definitely ruins soft liners. And it definitely has a negative effect on O-rings for people who have overdentures. Our liquid crystal has been proven by Zest, the world's largest manufacturer of implant parts for snap-in dentures. They tested our liquid crystal extensively, and it's the only soap cleanser they recommend.
I have friends that have snap-ins that love this. Other people do too. They just swear by that. And I use it in my sonic cleaner also. This is my go-to.
Well, superb. I love to hear that. Thank you.
Well, unless I'm reviewing a product for somebody or something, that this is the one that it sits on my counter with my sonic cleaner, and that's what I use.
We went with the liquid because it always dissolves perfectly. When you go with a powder or a tablet, depending on the quality of the water, you just don't know if it's all going to dissolve and it's going to be efficient. And we couldn't really get the efficacy with a powder that we did with the liquid.
It's just easy too. You don't have to open anything up or anything. You just pump. That's all you have to do. And I know sometimes I've actually wondered this. Sometimes when I would use tablet cleaners and drop them in the water, it's like you put your dentures in first and then drop the tablet in. Where do you need that? You know, do you need the tablet at the bottom or on top of your dentures?
And how do you know if the tablet really dissolved in the water?
Dr. B, thank you for coming on. I am going to put a link to Dr. B Dental Solutions in my description, and down there there'll be a coupon code that you can use for a percentage off on his product. He sells it in different ways. You can buy the whole bundle, or you can just buy products singly if you want to. And I will say they're worth it.
Well, we've got a great deal on all of our products in the denture kit.
Yeah. Oh, you do. Absolutely. And it's well worth the cost because this is going to last me a very long time. Well, Dr. B, thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you for having us. I just wanted to say that our whole denture kit with all 6 of our products is less expensive than some of the sonic cleaners I see on the internet.
I agree, because some of the stuff can get real expensive.
Yes. Well, thanks so much for having me, and I look forward to seeing more of you in the future. I love your Facebook group, and I love your videos.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Dr. B's in our Facebook group. So if you want to join our Facebook group, and maybe he'll leave a comment under one of your posts someday. He does that. He pops in and out once in a while and helps us out there.
Well, I don't want to be obnoxious.
No, you're not. Listen, we appreciate it more than anything. I know that we all do, all of us. But we have a fun time in that group. We support each other, and yeah, it's just a fun place to be. All right, Dr. B, until next time, we'll have to do this again.
I hope so. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.